everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Fenty Beauty Snap Shadow in the shade number 4. If you do want to see a review and a demo, please keep watching. If you guys have not seen my previous video in the Snap Shadow in the shade number 3, I'm going to link it in the cards. Here's a closer look on what the packaging looks like. This is in the shade number 4 and the shade name is called Rose. When you flip it over to the back, you have a little description and you have the ingredients. I already opened this up in my previous video, so this is what the actual Snap Shadow palette looks like. It comes with a mirror, which I love, and you get 6 different shades. This does retail for $25. On the back of the palette, you do have the shade names. The first shade in the palette is called Sleep Over. This is a matte shadow. Let's try to build it up. Taking a little bit more, I'm gonna build it up and blend it out. The second shade in the palette is called Little Miss. It's a hot pink shadow. It's another matte shade. Again, very soft in the pan. We're not getting any fallout. Very vibrant. I'm not a huge fan how that swatched. Let's try to build it up. I do have a little bit on the back of my finger. We're gonna build it up, blend it out once more. There we go, that's a little bit better. The last shade in the top row is called Stunt Queen. This is a shimmer shadow. Very soft in the pan. Here's what Stunt Queen looks like. Wow, that is so pigmented with one swipe. The first shade in the bottom row is called Sugar Shock. Very soft in the pan again. It's another shimmer. Here's what Sugar Shock looks like. The shimmers are very pigmented versus the matte shadows. The next shade is called Spice Trip. This is a matte shadow. Very soft in the pan. Here's what Spice Trip looks like. I do want to build up the shade in Spice Trip since we did do that for the matte shades. Here's what Spice Trip looks like. The last shade in the palette is called Diva Diva. It's another shimmer shadow. Very soft. You guys see that? It's super soft in the pan. Here's what Diva Diva looks like. Feels very chunky when I swatched it. Let's blend it out. That's a little bit better. Here we have all 6 shades swatched on the back of my hand. Now we're gonna create a look using this palette. Taking a fluffy brush, we're gonna dip into the shade Sleep Over or Sleep Ova. These are very cute names. And we're gonna be applying that in our crease. We're gonna slowly build up the pigment, so going back and forth with that shade. How are you guys doing being in quarantine in your house? What activities are you guys doing with your family? Please let me know in the comments down below. My family, we're staying indoors, playing with the pets. That's been keeping us busy. I haven't been watching a lot of TV. I miss my show Wheel of Fortune every day, you guys. Can you guys believe that? I'm sleeping twice as much. That's what I noticed. Since I do have free time on the weekends, I just sleep. On the weekends, I used to work at my second job and I really didn't have a day off. I worked 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then sometimes after work I used to go in to my retail job, and then on the weekends I used to be there 9 hours, sometimes 8 hours, depending on the shifts, or if somebody calls out they would ask me to stay an extra hour. That was that until this whole pandemic happened. I went back and forth with that shade. I really do like how it did build up. I'm going to be doing the same thing for the other eye. I'm liking how the eyeshadow is currently looking. Using that same brush, we're going to dip into the shade Spice Trip. This shadow is super pigmented. I'm going to be stamping this into my outer V like so. And then doing a little circular motion. Just gonna fluff it ever so slightly into the crease. Something just like that. I'm gonna be doing the same thing for the other eye. Again, stamping it and then fluffing it a little bit into the crease. We don't want to cover up the first shadow. If anything, we'll just go back in and add the first shade. The shadow in Spice Trip is so pigmented. I'm so surprised how well it's blending out. Swapping my brush for a clean fluffy brush, we're gonna dip into the shadow Little Miss, applying that to the center of our lid. This time we're pressing it on the lid and then doing circular motions. We wanna blend everything together. I haven't picked up more product because this shadow is super pigmented. I'm gonna dip back into the shadow in Little Miss, stamping it on, blending it in. I should have used a packer brush, something just like that. I'm gonna be doing the same thing for the other eye. That way we can be even. I actually prefer prefer the shade in number 4, this palette, versus the other previous palette I purchased. I love how the eye look came together. It blended out so nicely, so effortlessly. I didn't have to go in and use a lot of product. That's something I really do like about these 3 shadows so far. Taking a flat brush, we're gonna dip into the shadows, Super Shock. Apply this to the center of our lid. Try not to cover up the other 2 shadows. Stamping this, pressing the shadow in the center. I do want to wet my brush. I wet my brush, it intensifies the eyeshadow. It's not really intensifying the shadow, so I'm just gonna be taking my finger. That's a little bit better. That's exactly what I was looking for, that pop in the center. It looks gorgeous. Swapping my brush out again, I'm gonna take the shadow in Diva Fever. We're gonna be applying that in our inner corner. Here's what the eye look is currently looking like. I'm going to be adding some mascara. This is from Stila. This is their Huge Extreme Mascara. Really makes my lashes stand out. You guys can see the difference. I did apply 1 coat of mascara before we applied the eyeshadow. Applying the same mascara for my bottom lashes. For lips, I'm going to be applying the shade in number 6 from KKW Beauty. Here's what the final look looks like. Overall, my final thoughts on the Fenty Beauty Snap Shadow in the shade number 4. This is the Rose Shadow. This is actually really good. I really do like how it comes with a mirror. I do like how we used 5 out of the 6 shades in this palette. I normally don't wear pink eyeshadow, but I really do like how the look did turn out. I wasn't a huge fan of the shade in number 3, the Deep Neutrals. The other thing I was not a huge fan of is the snap feature. I could never understand this feature, you guys. Why? What is the point? Please let me know in the comments down below. Why on earth would I need to snap these palettes together? Why couldn't I just travel with them separately? I mean, now we're not going anywhere because we're in quarantine. Why? Why? Another thing I do want to point out is that these palettes retail for $25. I think that's super expensive for these mini palettes. That means each shadow in this palette costs $4.16. If this mini palette was priced at maybe $15, then yes, I would recommend it, but $25 in my opinion, I think it's too expensive for Fenty. Why is each shadow so small? I would expect to pay $4 for a bigger shadow. If you guys did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video.